Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am having a fantastic day, today. Yesterday, the universe conspired against me to keep me from Hermitcraft. It was ridiculous. So anyway, we're back on the Hermitcraft server. I'll talk about my day yesterday in just a second because I think you'll find it rather amusing. But anyway, yeah, I'm back to Hermitcraft, and I talked about this a little bit in the Kingdoms video, which is my single player series that I also just brought back to the channel. But things have kept me away from Hermitcraft. I went through a period where I was super burned out on vanilla Minecraft, and just didn't want to play it. I just was not enjoying it at all, and it was a chore, and it was not good. And I eventually finally got over my burnout, but by that point we were into 1.14, and basically 1.14 was really bad stability wise for a long time, up until 1.14.2, which is what we're on now. I would honestly go so far as to say it really wasn't even playable, and I didn't want to come back until there was a stable version of 1.14 to actually play around with, because I love the changes that they made in 1.14. I love the new content and the new blocks and all that kind of stuff. I think it's an awesome update. It just had some pretty severe technical issues for a really long time. And those are finally worked out. But unfortunately, my grandmother passed away a couple weeks ago. And I talked about this in the Kingdoms episode just very, very recently. But basically, my grandmother passed away. So I was dealing with that and, working on travel arrangements for the funeral and all that kind of stuff when 1.14.2 actually did come out, which is why we're seeing the return to Kingdoms and Hermitcraft now instead of right when 1.14.2 dropped. So that's basically the short version. So anyway, we are back on Hermitcraft, and I have been gone from Hermitcraft for about 6 months, basically since the Civil War. And I did not quit after the Civil War because I was salty about losing the Civil War. No, I'd left because I was super burned out on Minecraft, which you may have noticed even during the Civil War, because I wasn't really putting out a lot of Hermitcraft videos during that time. It was just kind of just enough, because the Civil War stuff was stuff with friends, and it was able, I was able to do that. It was just I had no real creative ideas, and I was so burned out that, yeah. Anyway, so now I am back, and because I've been gone for so long, there's some new stuff, like this cathedral that apparently false built, which looks incredible, by the way. But there's this building. I think this is new since I left. There's so much stuff, and I have no idea what's going on. And I know that the Hermitcraft recap is a thing, and I will have to catch myself back up with all of the Hermitcraft recap stuff, so I know what is going on. But even still, that's only a tiny little snippet of things. So yeah, I am super lost, and what I want to do in today's episode is basically just kind of meander around the server and try to figure out what is going on. and if this is real life, because I am so lost. Anyway, look at this. This is new too. This is this an Impulse thing? Because I know Impulse's base is somewhere around here. Or is this just an industrial district build? Either way, it looks lovely. And then there's a lighthouse over here. There's just so much stuff. Everywhere I go, there's new things. I still don't know what this is. This factory. Obviously, it's in the industrial district, so it's some sort of factory. But I have no idea what this factory produces. I don't know. I'm so lost. What I really need is just to find a time when one of the other hermits is free, so I could just be like, please show me what is going on in this world, because I don't know. But anyway, so I was talking earlier about my day the other day and how the universe was conspiring to keep me from Hermitcraft. So listen to this story and laugh at my expense, because it's amazing just how many things went wrong in the course of a single day, right? So I woke up in the morning, and this was yesterday, because for you guys this would have been like Wednesday, I guess, because I do not ever put out my videos on the day I record them. I always record them at least one day in advance, usually a couple days in advance, just so that I have time to edit them and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't feel like it's rushed, where I'm like, oh, I hope this video processes in time, because YouTube is not always very good at that. Are these scaffolding blocks? They are. Oh, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I woke up and I'm like, today is the day. I'm back from the funeral. Life is fine. I'm ready to record. Let's record some videos. And I recorded a Kingdoms video and everything was fine. Mostly. And then I got a blue screen of death on my computer. If you're not familiar with the blue screen of death, or the BSOD, the BSOD, it's basically when your computer says Windows has encountered a problem and needs to close, and you get a blue screen and it has a sad face, or it's in like DOS. But yeah, I got a blue screen of death, and I was like, oh, that's no good. That's bad. Okay, well, restart the computer, make sure everything's good, and just give it again. And sometimes you get those and they don't, sometimes you get them like once in a blue moon, and, it lasts for a little while and then it just stops. So I was like, all right, well, we'll reboot the computer and see what's happening. So, I went on, and it doesn't appear like there's a whole lot of new stuff in the modern district. I went on, and, 10, 15 minutes passed, and I got another one. And I was like, no, this is actually a problem then, because I can't record a video if I'm constantly getting blue screens of death, because not when you, if you're mid-recording when you get one of those, you're probably going to end up with, corrupted footage. The video file, if it's mid-recording, will just corrupt because the entire computer shuts down before the recording software has a chance to, finalize the file, if that makes any sense. Also, I know that there's this Sahara thing. I have no idea what Sahara is. I know Iskall is involved with it because I see him tweet about it occasionally, but is it tied into architects at all? I don't know. Again, I am so out of the loop. But anyway, so I got another blue screen of death, and I was like, okay, now we have a legitimate problem. So then I'm doing some research into what exactly is causing the specific error code that I was getting with my blue screen of death. This looks amazing. This has gotta be a Scar build. I'm calling it right now. This is a good times with Scar build, as evidenced by the flamey bits and the glass. This looks so good. Oh man, that's really cool. That's really cool. Anyway, this is a big technical thing, and I have no idea what it does. Actually, this courtyard looks really nice, too. Anyway, so I'm doing research into, what caused this specific blue screen of death, and it's well, it could be drivers, it could be, different things, it could be a memory issue, with your RAM, it could be, any number of a whole bunch of different things. I'm like, okay, well, drivers is probably the easiest fix, so let's try to check that first. So I did... tested all my drivers, reinstalled any of them, made sure they were all up to date, and blah, 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 right? And keep in mind, this is the day that I am trying to finally get back to recording videos after, and recording specifically vanilla Minecraft videos after a long time of not recording vanilla Minecraft videos, right? So this is the day that is supposed to be the return, like the triumphant, I am back in full force and everything is good from here on out day, right? No. Instead, I'm spending like 3 hours diagnosing problems with my computer and trying to figure out like what in the world has gone horribly wrong that I'm getting a blue screen of death every like 15 minutes. So I test all my drivers and I update all them and I'm like, okay, did that do it? No, boom, blue screen of death. So I'm like, okay, it's not the drivers. So then I'm doing more tests and I'm like, all right, we'll test the memory. So I test the memory and sure enough, it is a problem with the physical memory in my computer. The actual RAM had a physical technical malfunction, right? So it's a hardware problem. It's not a software problem. It's nothing I can fix by like downloading new things or, you know, last time I checked, you still are unable to download new RAM from the internet. Some people will get that joke. Some people will not. Anyway, is this new? I feel like there's new stuff here in the Christmas area that was not here last time I was on the server. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, it's a hardware issue. So then I have to figure out which RAM stick is actually the one that is broken. So I'm like, you know, I have 4 8 gigabyte sticks of RAM in my computer. So I take 2 of them out and I run the test, and those 2 that I had left in the computer were fine. So then I take one of those out and I test another one. And basically I had to run this memory test. And thankfully Windows has like just a built-in tool to test your memory for hardware problems. So that made it, you know, pretty easy, but it takes a while to run the test. So it took me probably like, I don't know, a few hours to test and figure out which memory stick was actually the one that was malfunctioning. So then I was like, okay, well now I've got, you know, 3 RAM sticks that are fine and 1 that isn't. And for those of you who don't know anything about computers or much about computers, you never want to have, or at least for the most part, you never want to have an odd number of RAM sticks in your computer. You want to have an even number because they like link and they form like a little circle-y thing. That's the like explain like I'm 5 version. So you want to have an even number. So I'm like, all right, well I gotta take one out and go back down to 16 total gigabytes of RAM. And then I was like, you know what? I've actually got older RAM from before I upgraded it. That's actually a little bit better for each individual stick. So I switched over to those and like, long story short, I spent probably a good like 7 hours or so, maybe even more, finding out that I had a problem, finding out what the problem was, and then finding out what specific piece of hardware within my computer was causing that problem and then fixing it, right? So like from start to finish, from the time that I was like, okay, I am definitely having a blue screen of death problem, it took me probably like, I don't know, quite a while to figure out what exactly the problem was and get it all fixed. So then, by this time, it's like, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the evening or something like that. And I'm like, all right, it is finally time to record a video, right? And I've already had a Kingdoms episode that was recorded and that I had started rendering. But you know, or no, at that point I was like, you know what, I'm gonna render this Kingdoms video first, so there's a video for tomorrow, and then afterwards, then I'm going to record a Hermitcraft episode, specifically this Hermitcraft episode that you're watching right now. So it's like 7 o'clock. I edit a video. It doesn't take me long to edit videos, usually like 15 minutes, because I don't do a lot of like super crazy editing. Like I get the video rendering, right? I hit the start render button and it starts rendering. For those of you who don't know what rendering is basically where you have stuff in an editor, a video editor, and well, in this case it would be a video editor, right? Adobe Premiere. And you say like, this is what the final video is supposed to look like. And then when you render, Adobe Premiere takes all those different little files and stuff and turns them into the actual video that you watch on YouTube. And that takes, you know, probably for me, like, I'd say half an hour to 45 minutes for an average length video. in 1080p and all that kind of stuff. So I hit the start render button, and I'm like, all right, I got like a little bit of time. So I go on Twitter, and I'm like looking at Twitter, and no less than like 2 minutes passes, and my power goes out. I'm like, are you serious right now? I've been dealing with technical problems with my computer and this blue screen of death and the hardware and the RAM all day, and I get it fixed, and immediately my electricity goes out? So I'm like, really? Really, universe? This is how you're gonna play it today? So I go outside, and I kind of look around, and there's a couple of my other neighbors who have kind of poked their heads outside. I'm like, hey, is your power out? They're like, yeah, our power's out. Apparently, like a transformer blew somewhere and knocked out power to the entire neighborhood. So everybody in my neighborhood, our power was out. Speaking of which, I need to, well, not speaking of which, but seeing this portal, I actually need to go into the Nether, because I haven't seen the Nether Hub, and I've heard it's amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. This is pretty cool. Although I have no idea, like, where, like, I get that this is the island, but I don't know where you're supposed to go if you want to get outside of the range of the island. This does look incredible, though. I will say that much. Like, it's pretty fantastic. So this should be the shopping district, which means this over here. Yeah, this is industrial, right? Yeah, impulse, industrial. And then this should be the medieval district-ish, roughly, I think. If I've got this figured out, as I think I do. But anyway, so yeah, I'm like, man, the universe, right? Power is out. So the electric company sends out like a mass text to everyone, and they're like, yeah, power will be back on in approximately 2.5 hours. I'm like, are you serious? So I'm like, you know what? I give up. I'm done for today. That's it. The end. You know what? I give up. I've been given a, sometimes, like, you'll see, you'll hear about people who are like, give me a sign, show me what you want, universe or God or whatever, please give me a sign. No. Well, the signs were clear. I was not intended to record that Hermitcraft episode today. It was just one thing after another. Murphy's Law, man. If anything can go wrong, it will. It was absolutely absurd. Oh, man. Anyway, so, yeah, that was my day of misfortune and misadventure. And then the power did come back on, obviously, as I'm recording this now. My new RAM, I ordered new RAM as soon as it did for my computer. That actually arrived like 10 minutes before I started recording this video. So, like, it's all good. But, yeah. Just what a day. How many things can possibly go wrong in a single day? And of all the days that it could go wrong, it had to be the day that I was like, this is the day I'm coming back to vanilla. Oh, man. Anyway, so as far as stuff that I'm seeing, the railroads look a lot more filled out than they did. There's obviously this whole, like, Sahara thing going on. I don't know. Okay, I see. Yeah. So this is one big building. It looks like it's still under construction, at least to some degree. Oh, this big technical thingy is part of the Sahara thingy. And I don't know exactly what Sahara is, so I'm sure the recap will cover it. I feel like this is some sort of flight course. Like, when I see random rings like this, I assume that means a Elytra course, which I am, of course, always in favor of. Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha. And then I have no idea where you're supposed to go from there. Oh, this is all new as well. Man, this looks amazing. This wasn't added, was it? No, no way. Okay, yeah, I know where we are. So this is Tortuga. There's Cleo's pirate ship with a Kraken now. Okay, fantastic. Of course, Cleo would add a Kraken to her. Or maybe this was a prank, but I feel like this is something that Cleo would just add on her own. And then if you keep heading towards the shopping district from Tortuga, you get into all of this fun stuff over here. Oh, there's an airplane over here now? Oh, maybe this was here before. I think this was actually here before I left. Man, there's just so much stuff. Like, everything just looks so good. Like, I'm super excited about this. And I have no idea. It appears I have run out of rockets. How am I doing on? Yeah, I'm doing fine on my elytra durability. And it looks like they've walled off the Civil War area for the most part, which I think is fine. Like, I think that's good. You know, keep it as like a living museum, if you will, of the Civil War. Let's see. That is not... Aha! Okay, we're good. Oh, that's right. You and you. There we go. Okay, now we have rockets again. So, I'm trying to think, what corners of the island... Oh, actually, Ren is gone. He left, so I'm gonna have to sleep. That's fine. What corners of the island have I not looked at? The Fantasy District. I did not head over to the Fantasy District, so I need to look at that as well. If it ever becomes night, please. Hey, there we go. Ah, coffee. Oh, by the way, I am back to my normal skin instead of my Pixelmon skin. And for those of you who do enjoy Pixelmon and who have been sticking with Pixelmon through the months, thank you. I appreciate it. And I am going to continue playing Pixelmon in addition to Hermitcrafting Kingdoms because it's super fun and I love it. And I am secretly a Pokemon master for those of you who do not know. But anyway, Fantasy District. Let's take a peek at this. This is something we haven't looked at. Oh, I love the clock tower false. Ooh, that looks really nice. This whole area looks really nice. This looks amazing. Okay, I guess we did see some of this as I was kind of coming in this way. The crystal is beautiful. It looks like this is something being marked out. And I think Tango's base is like down here. Actually, no, Tango's basically been gone too, because he's been working on his villager mod or whatever. Come to think of it, I remember seeing that on Twitter. Okay, so we've got that bit figured out. This appears to be a satellite. Oh, okay, I know where we are. We're above Concorp at the moment. Gotcha. Stuff being added. Okay. I see. I am understanding what is going on. I am picking up what they are putting down, as Ren would say. Okay. So I guess the only thing that's left to look at is the area kind of towards like Iskal's base, right? Like over in that kind of like iceberg area-ish place sort of thing. I want to peek over at that real quick. Just to see, like, I'm super excited to see what Stress has done with her big castle-y thing that she was building. Oh, this is a train. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, is this the train station? Oh, that's awesome. I really like this. Look at that. That is super cool. Okay, so Stress's ice castle is looking so good. I think the last time I saw this, it was basically like one major wall and then a platform. Like, I think she had like this bit right here done. I don't think she had any of this back part done yet. Oh, this is looking so good. And then here's the Guardian farm. And Iskal's base should be right here. Okay, I see. Which I'm sure is also looking amazing. If it ever loads in. Come on, game. You can do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is really cool as well. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time here because I don't want to spoil anything if they have videos that haven't like come out yet and stuff like that. But I did want to just kind of peek and sort of catch myself up on all the various goings on the server. I am super excited to be back to Hermitcraft. I have a variety of different ideas and things and projects and stuff that I want to do, but we will get into that starting with the next episode because I am out of time for this one. So my friends, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.